Wow, every once in a while, my friends, I will read a book that is different and unexpected and truly unique. And that has happened to me recently with Stormfront, the first book in the Dresden Files by Jimbutcher. This book is all about a wizard named Harry Dresden, who is also a detective, basically, a private detective. And Police Lieutenant Karen Murphy of the Chicago Police Department calls Harry in for crimes that are committed where magic is involved. And in this book, Harry gets called into a murder scene. There's a dark wizard practicing dark magic in the area. And Harry, before he knows it, my friends, in this book is caught up. He's a suspect. People think he is the killer. So not only does he have to try to clear his name, he has to find the dark wizard that really did the thing, and the dark wizard comes after him. There's a lot of action in this novel. I was truly skeptical. I've thought about reading this series forever since it came out. Should have started a long time ago, I know now. But this book is a mixture of genres. It merges mystery, detective, police fiction with fantasy, and it really worked out well for me. I was hooked on this book from the first page. I was basically ripped into the narrative, and I didn't have to put any effort into reading this. There's two things that I really noticed in this book. There's the mystery, which was a good mystery. I'm really surprised that this was Jimbutcher's first novel. It's his debut novel, and it was wonderfully written. The characters were believable, the dialogue authentic, and the second thing going on that really was the focus for me were the characters. This is a character-driven novel. Harry Dresden is an imperfect person. He's an imperfect wizard, but he tries to be good. He strives to be moral. He tries to make the world a better place, and I love the fact about him that he has worries and he has self-doubt, and he's not perfect, and it really made it so that I could connect with Harry. And the other characters are brilliant as well. I love the tension in the relationship between Harry and Police Lieutenant Murphy. There's a lot of tension there, but trust and love and friendship, but doubt because Murphy thinks that Harry's the one killing people. And I just love the dynamics and the nuance in the characters. Jimbutcher is really coming at us from different angles in this book as far as the uniqueness goes. There's humor and wit, and it's a fun read, but it's not silly or implausible. What really got me, my friends, is that I felt that the investigation that they were doing was really plausible. I just loved how enjoyable this book was for me. I must say that I was truly engrossed. And get this, my friends, I never go from one book in a series directly into the next installment. I almost always want at least a one-book break. I went directly into the second book of this series. I'm reading it now. I might even go into the third book. I've watched some other reviewers talk about this, and it seems like this series matures and changes as it goes, but I'm completely hooked with this first book. I loved the magic in this book. I thought it was believable for what it was. I love the inventive nature of this book. Jimbutcher has an imagination, my friends, and I loved the White Council, which is a governing body of wizards that make sure wizards aren't killing one another or using dark magic. And I felt that the potions and the spells and everything that Harry does in this book was just absolutely fascinating. I just can't say enough about how struck I am with this. I can't believe, my friends, I've waited this long to get into this, but maybe it's better that I waited now because I really need this series in my life right now. That's how much I enjoyed this book. And I love the fact, I must state, that Harry is so relatable. He's a poor person working, struggling to pay his rent by doing investigations. And what I really love is The police, other than Lieutenant Murphy, think that he's like a fraud. He's a silly, fake psychic, but he really is a badass, powerful wizard. But I love the fact that he's so relatable to the common person. He lives in an apartment with his 30-pound cat. Oh my goodness, and Bob. Bob might have been the best part of this book. You see, Harry has a spirit in his basement that's encased in a skeleton, and its name is Bob, and it's a really witty, humorous, brilliant spirit that's basically trapped in this skeleton, and it helps Harry with potions and whatnot because it's a very ancient spirit that has a lot of experience. And Bob, my friends, is absolutely brilliant. You will love Bob if you haven't read this yet. I love the way everything came together in this novel as the plot becomes more complex and characters are introduced and things are happening, as things are becoming revealed to the reader. I just felt that it was nearly flawless and seamless. Jim Butcher introduces characters like an expert in this book, and I just can't say enough, my friends, about how fascinating and engrossing this book was for me. Harry Dresden is a lonely, imperfect, fascinating wizard. I thought that the magic worked well. I thought that the investigation that they were going on was legitimate and believable, and I loved the fact that there's a crime family. Johnny Marconi is like the mob boss of the Chicago gang that's in this book, and they come into the plot. And I thought that that was really brilliant. There's so many things going on here in this relatively short book, and that's one reason that I'm committed to going on with book 2 right now, is because I want more. I want to know more about Harry's history and the city and the other characters. I want backstory. I want to know what is going on with Harry Dresden. I just can't say enough about how good this book was and how much I recommend it and how surprised I was by it. I can't think of anything that was just off with this book. It was brilliant, and no wonder it's a bestseller. I guess the Sci-Fi Channel has picked this book up and they did something on it, and it's a comic now, I guess. I am fresh and new to this Dresden Files thing. I can't wait to go on further with it and learn more. I loved the themes: honor, trust, friendship, justice, never giving up. And I was just utterly surprised that Jim Butcher actually took detective fiction and fantasy and he smashed them together, and what came out was gold, in my opinion. I just don't know if I could have been more impressed. I give it a strong recommendation, and I want to ask you, my friend, please drop me a line in the comments on any book recommendation, anything that you think that I might like to read and review here on my channel. I'm taking note. And I'd like to ask you to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can join me on social media. I'll drop the links to that stuff in the description. I want to thank you all for the support, and I will see you next time, my friend.